Spoiler.
This is going to be a wonderful match. We already have all the players are loaded up. They're ready to go in. Let's take a look at quickly what we have drafted here today on the Big Fish Spark. Of always a spark start. Always a spark start. But we're starting on Clarion Core, which is a map that you typically don't see first right away. It's grown to be like a map that some teams really like, some people don't like. But is this Showtime's map? Because I know they tend to like this a lot. But we see the signature rune ban from Bozo. They got like a 98% ban rate on this rune. Showtime taking away the Octavia from I. And then everything else looking like a standard comp here. Barcode on the Mako, Husk piloting that Asher, and then Xianzu on a speed character in the midfield. What do you think about the other comp?
I mean, pretty standard, I think, meta on both sides. Both comps have an opportunity to win, and when they're trying to, as Dropleto gets the first KO here in that bottom south gate, and he gets the goal. Dropleto do score already 19 seconds into the first set here. And one other thing to note here, Mystic, is 2 sparks in this game, one on the midfield and one actually on Barcode. Barcode not opting for the size here.
Yeah, not going for the size in general. You always kind of want 1 spark on your team if you can on these spark starts. Oh my goodness, double barrier being taken immediately by Joker, piloting that signature Asher. But taking a look at the starting awakenings, we got 4 Mag Souls, no Slick Kicks, no Siphoning Wands, no Van Braces on any of these characters here. Everyone knows what to do at this point in the meta. And then we have 4 Big Fishes. And oh my goodness, exploded. I don't even know how that happened. Oh, the core hit the middle, the expanse popped out, and then Joker just got sent into the abyss here. And the pressure is coming on from Bozo Bunch. Flip at their net, barrier popped, unable to finish it off, but everyone on Showtime is low. Well, Xianzu and Barcode.
Indeed, Barcode looking really low. Actually gets KO'd here by Dropleto. Xianzu now has to take up the goalie duties for now. Joker doing a really good job at stalling I in this midfield. Dropleto now has the core, and Xianzu gives him that top angle, and Dropleto takes it. It's going to be 2-0 in a pretty explosive first 2 maps here, Mystic.
Yeah, and this is coming from a team that, against the barrage of Demons Raw, managed to hold their own in the net for quite some time. But Joker returning that fire as quickly as possible. Both barriers and a KO for him on the Asher. Point brought back, 11-second point here, going over to Showtime.
Caster basics out of the window, I think, this series here, Mystic. We just got a yapping because they're scoring when we least expect it. It's 2-1, Showtime versus Bozo Bunch. And honestly, I think both teams have a pretty good shot. I thought Bozo Bunch was kind of, with that Rasmus goalie, maybe had a little bit more offensive pressure here, but Barcode with the Mako, and then obviously the heroics from Joker are just paying dividends to how good Showtime is here. But no, Joker actually doesn't even get the flip off, and he goes down immediately off of the mine here. Dropleto not quite able to secure that flip. Xianzu getting denied by Dropleto, but not going to go in for there. Showtime still have a chance on this defense, getting an orb, stabilizing for now, as everything is cool. Xianzu playing midfield, trying to deny Dropleto as much as possible, gets that first barrier. And now Joker trying to get the second one, but Breads is doing a great job at just denying it for now, but he can't do it for long as Xianzu finds the angle again, and now we're evened up here. No barriers to no barriers. Joker has a shot here on the top side, but denied by Breads. It's just so hard though. Xianzu runs in with that barrage. Does not want anything to go in here as Joker actually sneaks it in the bottom corner there.
Managed to live. That's the difference of Big Fish HP, keeping Joker alive, and that difference ended up leading into a point, tying things up 2-2 with the explosive start that Bozo Bunch had. Showtime returned it immediately. Giga Blast comes out from Xianzu. First barrier dropped. Joker with the second barrier immediately. Barcode using that strike shot to keep the ball forward as much as possible. Xianzu has to come back there to heal up a little bit, and we have 1 barrier left here, but that's all Barcode needs, holding it down as the melee goalie god. We just gotta see if they can keep it up for the remainder of this point. Xianzu's looking low, has to be really careful about how they proceed this midfield interaction. Giga comes out, almost gets it, but a good reaction from Breads as Dropleto is being dropped down low as well. Xianzu come almost back up from being staggered. Joker looking for a position here to use that energy burst, but is getting chipped away from the goalie and might get knocked out completely. Death Touch into the primary drone from now sends him into the abyss. No ability to use that energy burst, and now things are looking like they're going in Bozo Bunch's favor.
Yeah, Bozo Bunch taking advantage of this power play off that KO, getting both barriers, but Joker comes back up a perfect time to pepper down Eye on that midfield and also keep core control for now. Xianzhu trying to just buy his team a little bit of time as the Rasmus goalie is just so much more aggressive than the Mako here, just causing so much more damage and explosiveness on the defensive side. But Joker, really, really scary chance there, but denied by Gretz. Dropletto now finds the kill and manages to actually get Joker low as well with the flip and gets the goal. Dropletto, do score, do everything. Come on, 3-2. Bozo Bunch take the first set.
Dropletto X showing the prowess of, I mean, this guy is an X prodigy. Coming through, let's take a look at what the draft has here for us. We see more speed, and speed is king, but
Spark.
Remember, it was Spark start, like you said. And who has Spark on their team? The person who got MVP. That's how it works around here.
Hey, crazy how that works out.
So feeling good about that. I mean, double Spark already on round 2. Taking a look at everything else, we see Among Titans not picked up. I would say if the Spark didn't go the way of now, or if things were rearranged here, most likely would have ended up with that Stacks on Stacks or Among Titans pick. But everything else looking pretty standard. We do just want to keep an eye on Xianzhu. Xianzhu is one of those speed character abusers, knows how to use the Now and the Kai so well, especially when you stack on all these speed from the pancakes over there. And we'll see Xianzhu kind of pop off and fly. But they have to start winning if they want to get a chance to keep going.
Something to keep in mind here as well is this whole game so far, Xianzhu's kind of taken a beating, right? Like, and with the stacks, you know, if Xianzhu can get stacked up and dodge a lot of these abilities, it will be really, really good. But as we're seeing now, Xianzhu looking incredibly low, managing to survive for now, getting the orb, letting Joker do a lot of it, and the perfect secondary into flip from Joker on the Asher actually secures the second barrier there. And now Showtime all of a sudden just flowing the offense only through Asher and working out, but Joker goes down for now. Xianzhu now is going to have to find some heroics with Barcode, hold on the defense, but X is too good for that, managing to get the last barrier with that flip.
Whoa.
But the Giga Blast taking out the Now off the side. That felt a little bit insane there. And now Showtime with the power play, going to be pass splitted on the bottom side there. Breads can't do anything about it, can't even get in range to flip, and Joker with a great play, managing to secure that goal off the Giga Blast KO.
Oh, splitting the path indeed. Send in the air chip because he parted the Red Sea there to make sure there was enough time for Xianzhu, or sorry, enough time, yeah, for Xianzhu to send it up down there and then get that point. But taking a look, 1-0 lead right now. Xianzhu has that energy burst available. KO coming through from Joker as he uses that secondary into primary combo on the Asher. A little bit of reverse dash punch there, and just trying to get these passes back from Xianzhu as a good barrage. Tries to push it forward, but unable to secure that second barrier here. Barcode still doing his best to hold down both of these barriers as Dropletto returns back, and we see the pressure coming through. Energy burst is available. Joker unable to use it there, but the pressure is still on. Asher has a great stuffing ability, and Breads is doing a wonderful job of holding it down, but it's going to be a matter of time until one of these abilities goes through. I'm surprised Joker's being so reluctant there with the energy burst, but most likely thought that he would get that barrier with that attempt. Finally kind of gave into it, but yeah, barrier dropped.
Barrier down, and he has a goal opportunity here, but Eye on the Now does have that flip, so I'm not too worried for now. And a Giga Blast almost puts it in, but a great save from Breads, keeping it in for now. Joker now dead on the power play from Bozo Bunch, but it's hard because the Now was incredibly low, has no energy as well, and Xianzhu has the speed here with the stacks and the speed up. The Blazing Space is putting in so much work, just getting every single core, getting every single interception. And now Breads goes down from Joker, and they have the chance to put it in. Xianzhu finds it in the top corner. What a KO from Joker. The Asher strikes again. This guy gets.
Oh, that guy got. And that was kind of a situation there because of the size that Bread's character is, the Rasmus with the pauldrons and the big fish there. And he had to walk around the path splitter, and that caused him to go to the back of the net, which gave Joker, who also has size of his own, to reach fully to the back of the net with that primary there, the barrier beam coming through and allowing him to get that KO, which led to that point. One barrier already dropped here as Joker gets that first one, traded right back as Dropletto coming through, not letting it fall immediately, but Bread's walking up a little bit, has to get bailed out slightly from Eye coming back on the ultimate on the Now. But things have tied up as just taking a look here. But yeah, things have tied up here. Drop Leto, the one looking low, might get taken out eventually if that orb does decide how things are going to go. We'll see how things how they pan out from here.
See how they pan out. A lot of it I feel like is going to depend on who gets this middle orb here. Joker looking like he's going to want it and takes it. Now has his abilities refreshed and the size. Not going to be doing too much with the primary there. Flip coming out from I, going to save the day for now. But Joker actually, with the increased size, gets the hit on the last barrier. And the barrage with Xianzhu sprinting forward just had the perfect path to deny that clear from Breads. And Showtime strike right back with the 3-0. And I'm looking at a couple possible awakenings here. Not going to be too much. There is a spark. I think that can be... Well, it needs to be denied by somebody here. But the biggest thing I'm looking at for sure is definitely either that explosive entrance or that perfect form. Oh, the hot shot.
Also, this could be a second size awakening going through, but we're going to see if the spark does get denied by who. And it's going to be Joker taking it up on the Asher. Would love to take some of the other awakenings there, but that is all right. Or instead of getting his second or third spark, or instead of getting their second or third spark there, they're going to get Monumentalist instead. Really weak awakening here on the now, but I should say that it actually is weaker than it used to be on previous patches because of the change to the now secondary, which removed the hit stun when applied, and that was one of the biggest reasons why Monumentalist was such an oppressive awakening on this now. But either way, great awakenings coming through. Perfect form on Drop Leto. Explosive entrance on Obscure Breads, which is going to power up some of those impacts slightly and give him more speed to work around with. But overall, I would say it is Bozo Bunch that came out on top on this draft. Regardless, Showtime still has everything that they need to win.
Yeah, Showtime definitely felt like they had to do a little bit of denying there. Definitely a Bozo favorite draft overall, managing to deny some of the scary ones like Hotshot and that Spark, for example. But now, as we get back into the game, both barriers going down for Showtime. Joker has that flip, though, and Drop Leto looking a little bit low, so there is a chance for Showtime to come back into this point here. As Joker going low actually does that flip, and Breads did not have a strike ready, so it slow rolls into that barrier. Joker gets Death Touch off the map, and Drop Leto... No, actually, that was I believe the proximity drone managed to hit that straight into the top corner. So great aim there, and the red core just took Barcode off guard.
Yeah, and we can see a lot of what is being repeated onto Joker in these points is he's trying to position himself in a way where Xianzhu can pass, which is almost a perfect distance for the pendulum swing on the Rasmus to hit. So when Breads is just walking around minding his own business while his forwards keep the ball up, he's just whacking away at Joker. And he has the tools to finish him off just by the nature of Rasmus goalie having a lot of damage on the pendulum swing and then being able to finish on the back of their own net with that Death Touch, which we saw happen multiple times already.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who played with the Rasmus goalie player for a long time, I definitely know how strong it can be, how much damage it can put out, and when you have an X on your team that also has the damage, they're going to get finished off one way or another. Joker going down from Drop Leto, but a great defense so far from Showtime. Flip out of Barcode, going to clear it for now. The middle and the orb going to go to the now. And now Bozo Bunch not letting up on the pressure whatsoever, managing to keep it forward. They have the energy as well. Looks like Showtime's going to have to battle back on this one. The Giga Blast almost taking out now, but instead Barcode actually loses out on that last barrier. And now Drop Leto gets denied by that flip from Xianzhu. Clutch save. Going to keep things stable for now. Joker now getting that orb really, really low and actually managing to almost take it, but no, the now gets it once again. And the flip actually takes Joker out. It feels like Showtime are just getting annihilated this entire point. Core controls are all going to the Bozo Bunch, and Drop Leto puts it in. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah, and there's so much AoE happening here in the middle of the map. Like I said, the pendulum swings coming through from Obscure Breads. The secondary, because of Breads also being that, I believe is that Whiplash, just being so big in size, means that the secondary also reaches Joker quite a bit. And then on top of that, you have I sitting there with 2 sparks, so 134 power with Monu, just sending these secondaries away. It's not like he's intentionally hitting or they're intentionally hitting Joker, but when you're constantly just trying to use your abilities in the midfield, Joker is just going to keep getting hit by being around them. And that's causing him to be so low and get put in these situations where one Death Touch just yoinks him off the map or a pendulum swing.
Putting in some bad situations, and a bad situation is Xianzhu right now. Has the stacks built up, cannot die here. Probably lose the set if they die here anyway. Ooh, almost gets taken out there by the proximity drone, but managing to survive for now. Joker now is the one who looking incredibly low. Xianzu managing to heal up in time, but Joker doing some heroics on the side, managing to survive for way too long, it seems, but it will only be a matter of time before he gets taken out in the end. On life support right now, getting taken out by the X. Dropletto managing to do so much here, breaking Xianzu as well. They have a power play. Barcode has the flip, though. They can do a lot here, but how much can they do? Getting the barrier, Xianzu with the perfect flip, managing to hold for now. Joker back up as well, getting the flip out of the now, trying to get something done. Can they pull something out of a hat here? Joker, 1v2. What can you show me here? What can we see? As bringing the now incredibly low. They're managing to survive for now. I mean, I don't really know what's going on here, but Dropletto with the flip gonna put it in and end the hopes of this set for Showtime as he shoves them in the net and the core at the same time. That's a 3-0 set, Mystic.
That's a 3-0 set, and guess who's up first again? Will there be another spark to see? Yes, there will be. Spark of Resilience here for the reward of I. 3 sparks going their way. Will not be able to get a 4th sparks, but that is okay. Because we have some stagger, but more importantly, we have 3 spark ability with agility, and then 3 spark with strength. Taking a look on the other side, Huss's hat is going on to Xianzu, not Huss this time around. Spec training with all that size and Might of Colossus and perfect form. That's going to be really hard to deal with for Barcode and anyone else. Just anyone in Dropletto's way is going to get bullied. And unfortunately, looking at the bottom of the draft there, Joker has to take that cast last. Not the most useless thing. It has its use cases, but it's not the strongest thing on a Brawler Asher. Oh my goodness. Spec training already showing its fangs against Xianzu.
Xianzu going down, but at the cost of 2 barriers here. So they're going to have to make a lot on this power play, and a lot they make as they get almost another KO, and they get both barriers here. Joker now needs to score, but gets Death Touch into the back of zone net. There's just too much damage on the side of Bozo Bunch, putting out literally everything in order to kill him over and over again. Xianzu now, who's been doing great all game, but it feels like is on a timer with this damage from Bozo Bunch. Managing to keep it alive for now. Joker now, on a good little 1v2 here, on to Breads in the top corner, and you actually win. They actually make something out of nothing there, and managing to score. And one thing real quick, Mystic, that I want to point out is Breads, with those 2 secondary, or rather 3 secondary awakenings, going to be incredibly fast with that secondary, and also putting out a lot more damage with the explosive entrance with the pauldrons as well. So that's another thing to look out for. It's probably why the damage is so high as well.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I didn't even notice that as 3 secondary awakenings here on Obscure Breads. Can be a 4th if a Twin Drive makes its way over, but Joker once again brought down to essentially no stagger whatsoever, as Dropletto is running forward, trying to just beat him down as fast as possible. Joker has the energy burst, is going to try to go for the double, doesn't get it, but gets 1 for a consolation prize there. Xianzu coming through with the barrage. Pass splitter set up, but a good defense clears it out against the, oh my goodness, the spec trading Dropletto coming in and blasting his way through. Huss is taken out for another 10 seconds or 5 more seconds at this point. Flip used, but doesn't connect here as I is trying to look into a proximity drone placement. Isn't able to get it, but does end up finding the barrier here. Dropletto is looking extremely low, but he's in their net. He has the healing behind him thanks to the now, and we know that we can keep going. Just waiting for his ability. The perfect form is going to allow him hit 3 more people, and there it is. The spec training primer, or sort of the ultimate, is back. Xianzu is looking low and cannot defend without Barcode there. The melee goalie god is out of position because he is not in this map with us, and therefore the point goes to Bozo Bunch, right? Starting on this point 3, Bouncy House is coming through. I mean, this is getting exciting. Or this has been exciting.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely crazy it's going in. This might be, ladies and gentlemen, the weakest X build I've ever seen in my life. As actually he goes down, so a great little consolation prize there for Showtime, managing to hopefully get something on the board here. At least they're hoping, as Bozo Bunch defending well for now. They have a flip on the now. They're managing to clear it without it, but they get both the barriers. Joker, not the least healthy I've seen him all game, managing to get this orb as well. So looking incredibly good here. Gets the now flip. Showtime looking to bounce back on this point here, and they actually do with that corner offense on Joker. Breads, the one thing in this matchup that I think Showtime has is that Asher versus Rasmus 1v1 matchup. Really hard for Rasmus if they get into the corner, but the hard part here is they're so low all the time, it's hard for them to get into the corner, right? So Joker managing to get something done.
Oh, and there it is.
Not for long.
Raid Boss X at it again. Joker taken out. I believe he had energy burst as well and wasn't able to use it. And now we're going immediately for a 15-second point going to Bozo Bunch. But no, the defense from Xianzu and Barcode coming in through. No second barrier dropped on the side of Bozo Bunch. Everything's coming out. The Mako ultimate dropped. All these defenses are gone. Dropletto is trying to make his way forward as I is bringing up the core. Jianzu still has the energy burst. Barrage comes through. Energy burst pops. Joker low again. Joker just came back and now is most likely going to get taken out again. Only has access to one elusive left before it ends up being on death's door. The pendulum swing comes through, drops it, but that is an X using primary on their side of the field, and all my NASL goalies know what that means. That means your own barrier is being dropped, and let's see if that is enough for Showtime to get this third point.
Showtime looking for the third point. They managed to get a KO, actually get 2 KOs off a great Giga Blast. Xianzu looking incredibly good here, forcing the Now to flip, trying to stall as long as possible, but this should be a goal if Showtime play it well. But no, the Now's doing perfectly good, but not enough. The corner offense is just too much. The barrage from Xianzu getting it done. And really, that whole point, I feel like Xianzu had some crazy heroics, staying alive when Joker was dead, playing great defense on death's door multiple times, but managing to survive as well as win so many crucial strike wars, just outplaying the entirety of Bozo Bunch all set. So well done there from Xianzu, getting rewarded with that first pick. Probably going to be the fight or flight here if I had to guess. No, actually going with the peak performance, wants that speed, wants that stagger, both as one, and fight or flight is going to be dropped down to X. What are you thinking about this draft so far?
I really like the peak performance pick. You definitely don't want it on the X there, who already has the big fish and has a high base stagger pool. And especially the peak performance, if it managed to make its way down to I, would have been horrendous for them. So I like that pickup, allows them to live longer, allows the Huss's hat to get more value there. Taking a look at everything else, Catalyst on Joker, which means more elusives to dodge, which is really important. Regardless of getting more energy bursts there, Joker tends to be taken out either at max energy or at no energy. So he can be at max energy more often, had to pop the elusive there just to stay alive, and we saw that happen quite a bit before, where he died with full energy. So let's see if he manages to stay up a little bit longer. But taking a look at the rest of it, it is Barcode with the extra special, will help a little bit more on defense. Breads taking that built different, which is another size awaken. That's 3 with that pauldrons there, and Breads is going to be hitting like a truck. And you can't forget about the heavy impact on the Now. Oh my goodness, what just happened?
I don't know, but I think we got to start talking about the game here as Joker just gets absolutely deleted. Dropletto got incredibly low as well. I think we had a battle of the ages going on there for the orb in the middle, but Bozo Bunch end up on top. Not going to matter too much as Xianzu and Barcode keeping it forward for a good amount of time here. Dropletto trying to set up an offense, but forcing the flip out of Barcode, which actually gets the last barrier. Breads just walked up a little bit too far, and not too worried on the defense, though. They do have 2 flips here, but Xianzu has flip as well. Puts on the bottom side. Both flips coming from the back line of Bozo Bunch coming in. Now Joker with the flip, putting it to Xianzu on the top, and gets the rebound with the extra size. Oh my goodness, the core is going crazy, and I don't know what's going on, Mystic.
It is, oh my, getting that middle orb was absolutely massive, literally, for Joker on the Asher there. Had one size awakening already, and these are situations where that cast to last actually does matter, because Joker at the same time had the passive up from Asher, which allows them to kind of tank one hit or to hit the core once from just their passive alone, which meant that he got a free redirect there. Oh my goodness, dodging that death touch there means that they get to stay alive a little bit longer. Joker has the energy to work with, is just hanging back, but they have the double barrier here, so heading back, regroup, get that stagger, and then go for the offense once again. But Dropletto and I are not going to let this opportunity go unwasted. Taking a look, but the amount of pressure coming back now that everyone is max stagger from being level 10 means that they're living a little bit longer. As I say that, Raid Boss takes one more.
Takes another one with him. And Dropletto now with the flip, and the mind behind him might deny this flip, but no, Barcode plays it absolutely perfectly, getting the flip out of Dropletto and saving the barrier. Well done to Barcode here. Bozo Bunch has such strong offense, but has really in the last couple points been struggling to score on Barcode, but Joker not struggling to score at all, putting it in the bottom corner once again. This Asher is looking so strong, even with all the damage coming out, so well done to Bozo Bunch and, Showtime. Bozo Bunch having to turn it on another gear here. They need to win these next 3 sets or they're going to lose. This Dropletto going down already.
Yeah, the size is working against them in that situation there. Was so close to the edge of the map, even though Joker has no size awakenings, and that is going to be it. Xianzu uses the flip in the top section, and no way to clear it out with Joker just sitting right on top of Obscure Breads. Everything was looking in the way of Dropletto Raid Boss taking things through, but when you take out Dropletto from the map, you can breathe a little bit. And that means game 1 is going over to Showtime.
One or two crucial mistakes from Bozo Bunch gonna basically cost them that entire game after they were doing so incredibly well. And if we look at the stats here, oh my goodness, the damage from Dropletto, but look at the redirects from Xianzu here, 40 more than their counterpart I on Bozo Bunch. But the crazy thing is, look how many more redirects Xianzu has from his entire team. 150 on Joker and 160 on Barcode. Barcode only had 68 saves too, and not like a crazy save game. Xianzu was just keeping track of that core basically the entire game, giving Showtime that chance to keep going forward, even though Joker was taking so much damage, even though Joker was dying, not even like to his fault. He was surviving for a long time, but just that with the amount of pressure coming in, Xianzu managing with that core control to keep them in the game for as long as possible. And I think my MVP that game is honestly Stagger Swagger. Give it to Stagger Swagger there, Mystic, because I saw so many times where Xianzu lived purely just because of that awakening. And also the fact that you could run back to the orbs, Barcode leaving his orb up as well on the back. So well done to Showtime for turning up a little bit of second gear there to take that game 1 against Bozo. And now Bozo Bunch need to regroup here going into game 2.
Yeah, I mean, they were coming off such a monumental win against Demon's Raw, and they came in strong here. But one of the downsides to the way their composition works is, while it seems super dominant early on, once you kind of hit those later levels and you manage to get all the awakenings up in the game, it means that if you're on the defensive side of these awakenings, you get to live a little bit more. You have the Asher that finally, after getting the Catalyst, having Big Fish, reaching level 10, cannot just blow up after getting hit a few times. And then we saw the way the rotation worked, where Hus was getting a lot of damage put on him, had to walk back. Xianzu stepped up, had all the speed from the Stagger Swagger, had the speed from the Peak Performance, plus just the extra HP that boosted it even more from that Big Fish. The size on a midfield character, which does matter, right? The difference between having a little bit more size against your midfield counterpart makes it so that some of these strike wars end up being more crucial. It means you win a couple more strikes that you normally couldn't have just by the range of your strike box. And all these small things added up to Showtime winning. And we saw the way the game crept over the sets, how it was so Bozo dominated and then kept going just slightly to the way of Showtime until we finally tipped the scales and they got all the pieces they needed to win.
Managing to find the awakenings they needed, and we're actually going to see a couple changes in bans here. Showtime banning that Octavia, weird to see, but Joker obviously not playing midfield anymore, so does not quite care about the Octavia. Happy to ban that away. Bozo Bunch banning that now away as well, as Showtime do have that first pick. It is Night Market, and it is a Catalyst perfect form start, so I'm looking at these awakenings here, Mystic. We might see some fun characters this time. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I'm smelling a Zentaro.
Oh, actually locking in the Mako this time around. I think they're happy to give either, because Dropletto has both X and Zentaro up. They're just like, yeah, if he takes the X, we'll play the Zentaro. If we give the Zentaro, he'll play the X. There's no real reason for us to first pick it there. I think Showtime's happy playing either one in that situation. They're probably happy if they take Zentaro on Bozo Bunch and get Dropletto off of X, because he was that raid boss in that game 1. Either way, we know how proficient he is on that character. So it is the IME locked in plus that X going over to Bozo. And taking a look at the backup picks here, finally I get to see Xianzu on the Rune. It isn't banned away. Rune is such a strong pick this time around, or on this patch, being able to abuse the Max Souls, one of the best Max Souls user in the entire game. And at the same time, Xianzu, who doesn't normally get to play Rune, is actually quite good on Rune, has a lot of games of Runes under their belt from solo queue and norms in general. And we'll finally get to see it come out, and like you said, it is going to be paired with that Zentaro here, the perfect form and Catalyst start, and then wrapping things up in the back line is going to be Finny, going over to Brez most likely.
Damage versus a little bit of, I'd say, zoning, a little bit of explosiveness. I don't know. I mean, the comp from Showtime is definitely not weird to look at, because it's definitely not an abnormal draft, but it kind of excels in multiple areas, right? The Rune definitely has a lot of space control and has a lot of explosive potential with that banish, as you know for sure there. And then the Zentaro can basically do whatever he wants depending on the awakenings that he gets. Mako obviously is Mako, and then you have Bozo Bunch rather with basically the full damage comp. You have the Amy, you have the Finny, you have the X with, I assuming, is going to be the perfect form on almost everybody in this game, except maybe Rune might go the Catalyst. I'm not too sure exactly what we're going to be seeing here.
Oh,
But,
Rune loves perfect form.
Oh, Rune. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Rune does love perfect form.
Rune loves perfect form.
Yeah, we might see a 6 perfect form here, if I'm being honest. Catalysts. The days of 6 Catalysts are gone, as we will probably be seeing perfect forms all around the board for the most part. I'm excited, though, to see that Zentaro, as usual, and then also to see the Amy X combo work in the side of Bozo Bunch. They've run it quite a lot. I think it's a good little wrinkle to add into this game. They thought, they saw damage was working for them last game, but they just needed to opt into it a little bit more, and that they did with the Finny here for sure. And it is perfect form all the way around, and it is going to be strike shot on both goalies and mag souls all the way around. Nothing new here, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into this game too.
Yep, this is looking like a standard comp here as Barcode holds the drum and bass immediately as kickoff happens, giving their team a little bit of speed boost as Joker tries to wait out the strike shot plus the primary, isn't able to catch it there, and we are going for the first barrier being dropped over on the side of Showtime there. They had to defend the second one, but thankfully the pillar is there to help the defense out a little bit. Barcode looking a little bit low. No one's level 2 yet besides I, who already dropped the firewall sentry here. Taking a look, one barrier dropped thanks to the pillar. Second barrier dropped as well, unable to catch it. And now we're going to see if I can drop a little bit of another barrier. But oh my goodness, blown up there, sent off the map. This is an advantage for Showtime.
Yeah, get absolutely blown up, I believe, by the pillars plus the Zentaro ultimate there, though. And he's Blade doing a lot of damage in that top side here. But going to be going back already. Joker not quite able to find the cook there with the primary on the Zentaro, but managing to actually get the strike ward. But Breads with the clutch save on the Finny ultimate, managing to keep it out of the net for now. We're still going on this first point. Drapletto now is incredibly low, but managing to actually find that last barrier at the cost of his health bar. But we're still going. Everyone's still alive here. Showtime, honestly, looking a little bit more worse for wear than Bozo Bunch. Joker not quite able to find the KO as Drapletto gets the save yet again, 2 times in a row, not going down. But this is a good attack here from Xianzu with a perfect pillar in the bottom corner, and Breads just cleared right into it. First goal going over to Showtime.
And it is, when I don't want to exaggerate it, but it is literally the perfect pillar because of the way the angle's sent. Typically when you put a pillar in that situation, it ends up bouncing off the angled portion of the wall and then just going straight up and not heading back into the goal. But it got sent perfectly here, and a wonderful banish gets the KO, gets Breads out of position as well. One barrier drops as the Finny ultimate comes through. Xianzu's looking really good on the rune right now, has the energy burst available, manages to pick up the secondary speed, is coming in. Joker using the passive plus the secondary there, the dash plus the rush to secure the point onto 2 defenders there between Drapletto and Breads.
Yeah, I mean, with the perfect form of start as well, and the fact that this is a playmaking team, right? With the Rune, with the Zentaro, both characters that can make crazy plays with their abilities here. That perfect form is just giving him so many more chances to do it, right? The cooldowns are basically non-existent for the Zentaro, and the Rune, if he can get a good banish or a good pillar, has infinite pillars as well. Banish, as I say that, not quite going to be hitting there, but it's looking really explosive, looking really entertaining for now as Showtime off to a pretty good start, but it's not over yet. Drapletto has that flip, uses it on nothing, managing to survive for now. Xianzu actually going to be flipping Drapletto right back, losing the barrier for it. And now it's going to be 0 barriers to none, or to 1 rather. As I say that, I keep caster curse and everything, Mystic. As we get no barriers on either side, even game, Joker incredibly low, but the double banish, and now we have a 2-on-1, and Bread's gonna be saving it, clutching up with that top side save on the secondary. But can you stick it for now? Can you do it for now? Yes, they can. Drapletto gets the KO, but Xianzu with the heroics teleports on top of Breads and wins the strike war into the top corner. Well done, Xianzu on the rune.
Oh, and these are the things that when you are Bozo Bunch and you ban Rune for unironic, I think 90+% of the season, that's just been their go-to ban. They don't typically care about what you play besides Rune. I don't know why Rune is their boogeyman, but we just showed it here today. Taking a look here, it's going to be Prime Time, not Hotshot going over. Prime Time is such a good pickup here when paired with the perfect form, but so is Hot. You're really sad to see this when you're playing the Rune, because you know you want the Hotshot later down the line as well, but you kind of have to pick something. But with Prime Time and perfect form, you will have infinite primaries, and that is more valuable than the core going slightly faster. You can still make it go faster with other awakenings like Siege Machine, Heavy Impact, or just power in general.
I do like the prime time though, because you know that second pillar just as an option, especially when you have a comp like this with the Zentara, you do want heavy forward pressure. You do want to keep the core up as long as possible. The speed, not necessarily your friend all the time, so definitely don't disagree with that pick for sure. As Xianzhu managing to find that second barrier there with a perfectly timed pillar. And Barcode just chilling in the back. Level 3 does not care at all about what's going on, just giving the Drummond base buff to his forwards and keeping his barriers nice and safe as both barriers are down for Bozo Bunch. Need to find a play here in the corner, maybe with this Amy ult, maybe with this Oni's Blade, I guess, as Joker actually making a little bit of a mistake there, taking the last barrier of his own. Now it's 0 barriers to 0 on the power plays. Bozo Bunch trying to find something here, and not quite able to get anything with that blink here. Xianzhu now looking low. This is an insane point as everyone is just dying left and right. Xianzhu now on the chopping block, and Dropletto, can we finally score? Bozo Bunch, can we get something here? No, Barcode is just shutting everything down. Breads has the flip in the back as well too, so it's not like they're going to get scored on anytime soon. This point is going crazy.
And going crazy it is. Taking a look, Xianzhu back. That means Rune Pillars are up, and this is overtime. A single mistake here, not paying attention to Rune's positioning, means the core is going to go in, but it goes in for Bozo Bunch as Dropletto gets a beautiful strike there, sending it through Xianzhu. Barco not able to catch it with that strike shot. First point of this set going over their way, but we're already seeing an insane set come through in just that first point. With how everything's going, the KOs coming through, the abilities coming out, finally we're getting something a little bit more exciting than a speed start or a spark start. The perfect form is giving us the entertainment we need. The barrier comes through, or I should say the bandage comes through, the pillar comes following up, but it wasn't enough to get the KO there as one barrier falls. The second barrier is looking mighty low, but no, a good blink plus eye coming in with the firewall sentry defends it well. But take a look at the damage coming through, Borg, and that's Dropletto. One more KO picked up.
One more KO picked up, 2 more KOs picked up. Barcode now left all alone in his net and not going to be able to save it. Wants to keep his life, I guess it seems. Does not want to go down there. Letting the goal go right back in for the Bozo Bunch, who managed to find a pretty good set this time around, getting 2-0 up already. And I feel like these points are just incredibly snowbally. It feels like whoever gets the first KO, whoever starts to offset the match first, really is the one that ends up winning, and Bozo Bunch have been able to do that twice in a row. Joker, with the adrenaline rush, needs to find a KO here off one of these banishes, needs to find a finish of some sort, or else he's just going to get KO'd like that over and over again as Dropletto finds another one, and they get another power play, they get another barrier, and can they get another goal? We'll have to see as the power play comes in through, and Dropletto with the open goal on the bottom side puts it right in. 3-0, Bozo Bunch strike right back.
And like you said, it's so snowbally because of the way the perfect form works. When you manage to get a KO, typically you invest so much into getting that KO, right? Your abilities are on cooldown. That's the trade-off that you make. You're one man up, but you're down abilities. Not in this case. You KO them, your abilities are back up, you're using them on the net, and that snowball continues. And we see perfect form, Timeless Creator going over to Amy there in the midfield. Oh my goodness, this is going to be rough, but Fight or Flight brought back, which is a phenomenal awakening here for Xianzhu. Either way, it looks like everyone's getting pretty much what they want. Even in last pick, Joker manages to get the 1-2 punch, so no one's upset about this. It's just going to be even more chaos.
Watch out for Dropletto as well with that Super Surge and that Spec training. That X Dash Punch is looking a lot more deadly now in this game. As we see right here, Xianzhu almost just dying to it immediately, but a great banish managing to slow things down for now. Joker with that 1-2 punch as well is definitely happy. Has that adrenaline rush to keep things, a little bit explosive. Maybe find a kill here or there, and that one kill could win the entire point for his team. But first you gotta live, as Joker and Barcode looking a little bit worse for wear. Both gonna be getting an orb, maybe keeping it good health for now. But no, Amy Blink followed by the Dropletto ultimate. Doesn't even care about the core. He wants a kill as they pass the core around for extra energy, and it goes right in. Getting the goal credit on that one. That's 1-0 for the Bozo Bunch, who is finding their footing in this KO comp.
Yeah, and the snowball is continuing, and we can take a look at the damage coming through. They just can't deal with it right now. There are no defensive awakenings offered, or I shouldn't say, I can't remember if they were offered or not, but there are no defensive awakenings taken. No Huss's hat, no peak performance. It's not looking good, even like Big Fish. So that means that whoever's dishing out the damage first, but there it is. I think that was the perfect pitch coming down from Barcode that got the KO there. A wonderful banish. He manages to get the second barrier. Huss trying to find it with the primary, isn't able to get it. Dashes back in, and Dropletto manages to get the way back through. Oh my goodness, Xianzu almost completely taken out there as things are getting still chaotic. Everyone is going all over the place. A KO here could mean a massive amount of energy, or I should say energy, a massive amount of EXP for Huss as he gets the KO onto I, but isn't able to find it. The Firewall Sentry comes through. I is looking so low, but I is getting into the fray of things. Gets the health orb and lives. That means no comeback EXP at all going over to Joker. He would have absolutely loved that.
Yeah, Joker almost had the snowball rolling there a bit after that first KO, but not able to get the second one as Breads with the perfect Finny primary across the map, managing to secure that last barrier there for Showtime. So now it's 0 barriers to 0, but the health bars are looking a lot better on Bozo Bunch's side here. I think Showtime need a play. They need to find something in this offense. Score has a banish, gets a double banish for now. It's pretty good, but not going to amount to too much. Barcode bringing the core up, but Joker cannot do the flick as he had his passive up, so no crazy plays there, but a crazy bounce there on the top side. Demon angle. Bread's not happy about that one. Had the flip, but just could not react in time. Showtime might have just got what they needed off of that Hail Mary play there with that bounce.
Yeah, Joker's still looking a little bit low in terms of EXP. The lowest one here at level 6, while everyone else is at least level 7, and then 8 in both of the midfielders. Flip comes out from Obscure Breads, trying to just find a way to get a KO or something, picking up some orbs for a little bit more HP and EXP as the wonderful banish comes through, but not the way the pillars you want to set up in that situation there. But a pillar comes back to defend it, gets the rebound there. Huss trying to find it onto the net, isn't able to get the second barrier. Xianzu's looking low, Dropletto coming through, energy burst available. Xianzu is looking extremely low now, has to kind of be gentle with how they place these pillars and where they end up going. The flip ends up meaning that the fight or flight procs, quite a few members of this game are low and on death's door as the Grim Reaper comes knocking, but no one has dropped yet. We're looking for the first KO, the first snowball to come through, and there it is. Joker getting the EXP, the catch-up EXP, trying to find it. The Oni's blade comes out. Oh my goodness, every single ability in Zentarro's kit is used in that millisecond, and they manage to get the point.
Breads actually saving all of them plus the pillars, so well done to Breads. I actually think one of them might have gone in, but Joker primaried to stop it, so
yep.
A little bit counterproductive there, but it's all right. They get the goal in the end and actually get a little bit more XP doing that, so you know what? Worth, I would say for sure, as Joker back in the game here, level 8 with the rest of the crew. And that one KO, like we've been saying, I mean, just that one KO is all you need, and almost gets a goal on that bottom side there, but Bread's getting a little bit lucky on that bounce and managing to flip for now, but Xianzu does not even need to hit the core in the flip, finds it on the goal line and just waits it out until he has time to put it in. That's 3-1 set now for Showtime. I mean, this is just so back and forth.
Yep, and I love that in that last play, Xianzu gets the banish on the Dropletto, had the abilities and the scenario to KO Dropletto if you go for the push combo, the double barrier combo, or I should say double pillar combo, but instead recognizes the situation, rushes forward, and helps out in the net to get that goal. Taking a look at what we have here, heavy impact going on to Joker. Peak performance, finally a defensive awakening over to Showtime. They can breathe a little bit, but the hat does not make its way onto Huss as Eye on the Amy picks it up. And things might calm down a little bit now that we have slightly more HP on both sides, but honestly, with that catalyst and rapid fire picked up on Bozo's end, I don't know. Things are still probably going to be just as deadly.
Yeah, Joker has that heavy impact, has that 1-2 punch, so it's going to be doing a lot of damage here, and with that more damage on the Zentarro, it's looking a lot scarier for Bozo Bunch to walk around the map as we see Dropletto going a little bit low. Breads was going low there for a second, but managed to heal up a little bit. One barrier now going down for the side of Showtime. Dropletto and I doing a great job at keeping that core forward. And a great job actually with that strike on Dropletto, managing to catch Barcode off guard, and now it's no barriers to none. I feel like these barriers have gone down in record time this game as Joker actually goes down. Dropletto with that spec training puts him in the back of his own net. and we have only Xianzhu and Barcode, only a pillar to keep it going, and keep it going it does. Xianzhu managing to stall for Joker to come back online.
Yeah, and thankfully, because of that perfect form plus prime time, you have access to the pillars when you need them, and we can see using the pillar there to get it around Dropletto, and probably do it again if they need to. Looking for the banish, gets it all to both forwards, but it's not enough as a great clear from Brett sends it up and sends it out. But Joker is not letting this point up through. Will they be able to continue with the barrage of abilities coming, and Joker manages to live somehow through all of it? But the overtime core with what is going on, 1-2 punch on Joker, all the damage that is accumulated so far means that one stray core, one moment of relaxation from either goalie, someone just not paying attention, means the core is going in.
Core's going in either way, and I mean, Breads tried to go for the 50-50 there, but Joker is all too good at these strike wars and manages to catch Breads lacking, puts it in the back of the net, putting Showtime at 1-0 here, and in their series point already. Keep in mind, too, I mean, they're going to win if they get 2 more points here, but it's a long road ahead as they get taken out. Joker already out of the pitch here, and both barriers down. Barcode needs to play safe here. Might even just run out of his own net in order to save his flip for the next point here. Dropletto now flipping and scoring. Barcode flipping for his life, but it didn't matter in the end. Worst case scenario for Showtime, but best case scenario there for Bozo Bunch to get back into this game.
I actually think in that exact situation, Joker using the primary on Dropletto was a incorrect situation, ended up bouncing them into the Mako ultimate and causing the Mako walls to drop completely, which meant that it was an open net for Dropletto to score on. But it's one of those things where you can't really say that in the moment. It's just hard to see it, and in hindsight, it worked out that way. But as I say that, both barriers dropped again, comes in with the secondary, the cyber swipe comes in through, and it is enough to score on 2 people in the net.
Hey, we're seeing the strength of Bozo Bunch's comp here finally start to shine. They have so much area denial in their comp with the Amy turret. They have a big X with all of his AoE abilities. If Breads walks up, he has that, what's it called? The Finny ultimate. I can't remember the name right now. Yep. Excuse me. Things are getting crazy as we're already getting started in this point. Who cares what happened in the last point as Dropletto puts Joker in the dirt yet again, and Dropletto again puts Barcode in the dirt and gets the goal. With the goal credit, managing to find such an explosive start, 17-second point, and striking back and forth. We're still going to keep going with this trend as it's been 1-1, 1-1 in sets, and we're going to a set 5 with, look at some of the awakenings here. We have size, we have stacks, we have extra special. This is going to be big.
Yeah, stacks probably going to be one of the lowest priority things here, just with how quickly everyone is going out. Maybe the goalies take it, but no, Xianzhu betting that they will live, and they will try to live as long as possible. But take a look at the Deadeye pickup coming on to the perfect form. Amy with the Timeless Creator, you know that's going to be deadly. And then last pick, you managed to get some size, but size isn't the most amazing thing on Zentaro, but doesn't have much else to take in that situation.
Hey, it's not about the size. That 5% impact damage, baby. Come on, has the
5% impact.
Has the heavy impact as well. That's 25% extra now, so it's definitely not nothing. And the size, you know, not the best on Zen, but that's really just because he has so many good awakenings. Look look how big that Oni's blade now is with the size. So definitely really good there. Going to be happy with that pickup as we get 1-to-1 barriers already going off. Already things getting exploded onto the pitch here in this set 5. Joker, no energy. Dropletto, full energy. Might get the KO on Dropletto, but no, actually reverse. Dropletto getting almost the KO on Joker, but with the conveyor belt there, with that sentry turret, putting it in the bottom side. I don't think Barcode is ready for that.
Oh, and there it is. And guess what? That sentry turret's going to be up again in a matter of 5 seconds with this kickoff if I jumps in, uses an ability or two. And that's the power of perfect form. Take a look. Banish comes through, isn't able to get it and set up the double barrier KO. That should have been a KO onto Dropletto there. But it doesn't really matter in this situation. Can they find the second barrier? Unable to get it just yet. Joker being taken down to extremely low levels, has to use the elusive, manages to get the second barrier there. Things are looking quite good. Getting into the net, trying to pray for a pass from Xianzhu, and gets a strike in, but it isn't enough. Getting sent right back from the energy burst here as a banish comes through onto I, and things are still as chaotic as they were every single point of the previous set.
Yeah, so many abilities going out, hard to read what's going on, but all you really have to look at, ladies and gentlemen, is the core, as it's on Joker, who has the 1v1, but no, I comes in from the backside, trying to get the cyber swipe on the Joker, deny that play for now, making him go back into his own net. So keeping things steady for now is Bozo Bunch. They need to get something in the corner. They need to set up a play here. Sentry turret coming in through, but Joker and Xianzu managing to actually find a great denial there off the core, and a great banish, gonna keep things slow for now, as Xianzu might get put away here, needs to be careful, but has no fear, running straight in now, finally goes back, gets that orb, and keeps things safe. But now it's Joker that's on the chopping block. There's nobody safe in this game right now, as Bozo Bunch looking incredibly scary, but Breads, ooh, that core's looking really fast now. The Finny's gonna have a much harder time to save this core over and over again, forces the flip out of the Amy. But Barcode has that flip, has that Mako, is looking so comfy in the back of his net. I'm worried for Bozo Bunch here, Mystic.
Yeah.
As the core goes in, there it is. I mean, Joker finds it at some point. It's 1-1 now. I mean, it felt like it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny seeing Barcode in the back with a twin drive, banging the drums. The drum and bass is going as hard as possible here, while honestly, Xianzu, the MVP of that point, was running back and forth, living on 1 HP. It was kind of similar to the breakdown that you gave of the last game, where Xianzu manages to always live barely and then keep the core forward somehow. As I say that, both barriers drop. Bozo Bunch looking really good so far. Flips being traded as the pillar catches one through 3 people. The flip coming through, goes for the banish, tries to get it. But oh my god, and there it is. That's the primetime pillar coming through for the rune to catch it and send it right back into the net. Xianzu doing a phenomenal job showing us a masterclass on this rune.
I mean, this primetime is doing work, no? I mean, had that pillar
wonderful
for the clutch, and then also had another pillar for the offense there in order to get the goal. Joker just getting everything out of Breads in order for Xianzu to finish, so well done there on the 4 duo. And now it is series point here, Mystic. We gotta lock in here as both barriers already down. This might just be a goal. This might just be Showtime's point, but no, denied for now as Dropletto pops the X-Max, which has the flip, might need to use it for now, but staying calm, trying to wait for his opportunity here. As the double banish comes in, and we might get a KO, but no, nothing quite going on here. But managing to find a really, really good cyber swipe into the glitch pop, managing to get this last bit. But Joker with the flip on the goal line, is it going to be saved? No, it's thrown away, but no, the KO comes onto Obscure
the sad boys.
Gets the final goal of the series, and they're your NASL champions. That just happened.
Oh my goodness, the play at the net. I mean, Xianzu with the perfect catch, sends it back in. Joker comes in with the Oni's blade, flips, gets the KO onto Breads, shoots it in. I mean, what a wonderful, and there it is. You see MVP Xianzu. Xianzu was the MVP of that game, reminding me of NASL Season 1 with Ginger Pop performing on this. I mean, it's nowhere's no. If you were there for that game, it's bringing me back to similar memories. And what a wonderful performance out of Showtime and even Bozo Bunch. I mean, this was a great, phenomenal series. I'm so happy that we didn't get really boring Awakening start. Everyone went as crazy as possible. KOs coming left and right. 5 KOs for Showtime. Even more for Bozo Bunch. Everyone played great, but it was just the slight differences, the difference in these high pressure situations that made it that Showtime was more comfortable in and managed to get it through. The locking it down in the net, the melee goalie king keeping it down while Joker's fighting for his life, jumping all over the place with the Zentaro, has as many abilities in the world thanks to the perfect form, and then Xianzu showing us that Rune can win an S tier as well. I mean, Borg, this was such a wonderful series.
Yeah, I mean, we got both extremes too. That first game, a little bit more slower, a little bit more methodical. I think definitely longer, allowed some strategy to come in, started to get a little crazy towards the end, but the second game was just absolutely insane. I mean, I think you felt it as well, but it was hard to keep up even for us.
Yep.
And we've been playing the game since conception of this game, so it was definitely hard to keep up, but it was fun for sure as we see some of the stats coming in here. Xianzu has 40 saves and 282 redirects, so definitely deserving of the MVP there for me. I think everybody played well, but man, the extra shift it felt like Xianzu put in on this entire series, just living on 1 HP, keeping the core forward. Joker just getting bullied the entire time, but managing to survive just long enough in order to get a last barrier. So well done. And then obviously Barcode as well, sitting in the back, doing his job, doing his formula. I said it in the pre-show, right? He does not make mistakes. He literally says, this is going to work. I'm going to do it. Does it until it doesn't work. And then managing to find the success there, managing to find the NASL win, the S tier win. So congrats really to all these guys, especially Joker and Barcode, my really good friends as well. I said it last season. I said next season is yours. They got second place last season. It felt like only a matter of time. So really, really excited for them there. But that's gonna be it for us, Mystic. Any other last words for you?
No, I mean, thank you guys for sticking it through. NASL season 5, season 6 is gonna be exciting as well. We'll see if Demons Raw and Sad Boys can return. But right now, it is the meta of Showtime.
Showtime.
Oh,
happy with
yep.
what's going on here. Happy with this championship, and stick around because we're about to hear from them in a little bit of a post show here, I believe. Maybe an interview, a little bit of a post show as well, as we've been doing all day. So stick around. It's going to be the end for us. Thanks for listening, guys, and that's about it. So we'll go to a quick break, but make sure you stick around for the post show, everybody.
I'm here at the very last time I'll ever say this. Welcome to the North American Strikers League Season 5. And with me today is the forward duo of our NASL champions. We've got Huss the Joker, and I've got Shiamzu with me as well. Guys, walk me through what you were feeling when that ball finally went in on Night Market to seal the championship title. Huss, let's start with you. Walk me through where you were at emotionally.
I mean, immediately I was like, thank God, because I did a shrug and that stuff better have went in, bro. Because if it didn't go in, that would have looked bad. But I mean, I was just euphoric. Like, you've seen me competing every season, like how hard I grind and everything, and just like see the ball going back net, and like I finally got the win, man. It just feels good, especially with these guys. Like they played so well as well. So yeah, I was just euphoric. That's the word I describe.
And Shianzu, I know that a lot of the focus had been on you, especially, there was a lot of series this season that you weren't able to make. I completely understand. I've been there, but going into playoffs, I'm sure that a lot of people. I know you have a lot of huge supporters, but there are also some doubts whether Showtime would be able to pull it out. How do you feel like you played today, and how do you reflect on learning how to become arguably the best player in the world now that you've won NASL? Like, what's it been like coming from essentially your experiences in the past being with friends and slowly evolving into this absolute menace of a team that is Showtime now? What's your journey been like to get here?
It's been quite the adventure, Vaughn. Like, starting off like with norms, all the way back to the shop with Asia and Glim. Shout out to them, by the way. Wouldn't have been playing this game without them, honestly. So, but ever since that first launchpad that I entered in with them, the first person that actually took interest was Appabug, and with that, it turned into me getting a sub spot on chatting, and for some reason, they decided to start playing me a lot more than Box in the later of the season, the later of the half. Turned out to work out really well. Man, it's oh, it's so much. It went from playing norms to not qualifying to launchpad to winning NASA to getting second in NASL to getting first, all because of this guy Huss. My team,
Always.
they are the best I could ever ask for. No other forward pair that I could have would play the game like me and Huss do. Like, uh, man, it's too much.
It's been it's been a long journey. I'm so excited that you guys are here, and Sean too. He can't be with us today because he had to dip out. He he logged in as 9 to 5, and he had to go. But I'd love to shout out Barcode again. I said this on a pre-show, but he has a legitimate argument being the most consistent goalie I think I've ever seen. Really been impressive to see him. And also, Joker, I talked a bit about Shianzu's history, and he discussed his journey to get here. You and you and Barcode have kind of been in this since NASL season 1. What's it like for Barcode to come back in? What's it been like playing with him? You've been on so many different teams. You've captained so many different rosters. What does it feel like to win a finally like the big chip with your literal first teammate from launch? I still remember those finesse days. Talk to me about what it's been like, the work that you put in to get here today.
Oh man, there's a lot I can say like about the journey with Barcode because we all know like we played season 1 together. I started way back in beta actually in the tournament you hosted, Play More 2, where Puffy
True.
was our captain.
Huba Jobo.
Yeah, Puffy
That's
was
the
our
team name.
captain, and he drafted Barcode, and then he drafted me, and then we also got Borg. So that was like our first little encounter with each other, and like we really like vibed and enjoyed playing with each other. Like, cause I remember I thanked you for that as well. I was like, thanks for hosting this, cause like I generally made like friends off this tournament, like cause we vibed so well. And then from beta to launch, um, I finally got to play with them for NASL, like full time. Like they chose me as their forward, Buffy and Barcode. And I mean, we've had our battles in the past with you guys, Lights back then, and we played in weeklies and stuff. But it was, dude, launch was hard to win tournaments. It was really hard. We never got to win a tournament together with me and Barcode, and then we lost NASL and that tournament Audi hosted. Forgot. I don't want to remember it anyways, but we lost that tournament too. And Barcode like took a step back, and I still had Puffy, and it was like cool. Shout out to Puffy. We ended up winning tournaments, but my one biggest regret was like, damn, I really wanted to win with Barcode. And after all this time, we finally got like this is our first. Like we haven't even won a weekly together. This is the first thing me and Barcode ever won together, and we've been playing with each other since beta. So that's like wild to me. So it's been a wild journey, to say the least. To answer that question.
It is crazy to think back. It's been what 3 years now since you, myself, and Barca started competing in this dinky little game, and now you're sitting arguably at the pinnacle of competitive OS. It's some would argue that this is the most impressive S tier of all time. The competition was fierce. And speaking of competition, I want you to talk to me, either of you. We'll start with Xianzu. I'd love for you to talk to me a bit about that grand finals match. There was such a back and forth between Showtime and Bozo. It really felt like the pick ban phase was really skewed around this now. There was a lot of emphasis on banning away the midfield characters, picking certain styles. So Xianzu, let's start with you. What was it like to have to play against Bozo Bunch's grit? Especially they were on such a roll. They looked almost unbeatable. Can you walk me through a little bit about how you try to maneuver your way through that game and what sort of things that you were executing on, either with Barcode or with the Joker, that lets you get your chip today?
From the main thing that we were worried about right off the bat was obviously Muncher. This guy is such a freak of nature at this game when it comes to how he holds the core. Like get the get the core in his hands and it's not leaving at all. Like every time we lost the kickoff, we just immediately lost the point. There's nothing that we could do. We couldn't find the counter for it. So we had to take the guy off speed characters because you know how this meta is. And thankfully, once that happened, we were able to maneuver around towards drop side more often than not whenever we were on defense. And it would. I'm so bad at explaining this. We basically did a lot of unnecessary rotations that ended up leading to better off than not because of the Rasmus goalie pick within the Clarion game. The Night Market game, it just felt like all we had to do was win kickoff and there was nothing else to the game. Like whoever won kickoff won the game.
I see. I especially think that both these teams were so refined in their offense that once you really grabbed possession of the core, it was difficult for either team to really push it away. But that's not to say Barcode and Obscure Breads had some of the most fascinating, well executed goalie performances I've seen in a while. I was glued to my seat. There is something so just gripping when two goalies refuse absolutely by any means necessary to lose their barriers. So last, I'll throw it off to Joker, and I want to talk a bit about, we've talked more about looking backwards. Let's talk about going forwards now. Obviously, this is huge. As the captain of Showtime, you finally won a North American Strikes League championship. This is the breaking of the curse of first seed. It is the first time ever that it hasn't been Sad Boys or Demons Raw. I'd really like to hear from you. Like, what are you most looking forward to in the future? Like, are you gonna like what does it look for Showtime? Talk to me about like your goals after this, because you've kind of crested the summit, and I want to hear what else the Joker's on the prowl for, because I know the grind doesn't stop with you.
Yeah, that's correct. Um, as long as Best Team Slots hosting tournaments, we'll be there. At least for until like the just game dies, because I know Best Team Slot has like a good system now for hosting tournaments and stuff. And I'm thankful to him for that, of course. You already know how much I glaze our tournament
Yeah.
organizers.
Yeah.
So yeah, as long as they keep hosting tournaments, I'll be playing because like above all, like you know how much I love competing and stuff, but it's just so
Yeah.
fun, and the community and the friendships that I've had, like it's just nothing beats this. This has just been such a like good part of my life right now. So yeah, it's something I always look forward to, and I like interacting with people in the community and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna go anywhere. Showtime's not gonna go anywhere. We're planning on playing in Sheb. Hopefully, like the schedules and stuff work out.
Yeah.
You guys will see me at LAN as well. My teammates don't make that, but looking forward to teaming with Demons Raw for that. My friends as well. So yeah, Showtime's gonna be in next NASL and Sheb. hopefully.
Speaking of all these events, I'd love to transition really quickly. If you are someone who's watched these matches today and you have a competitive itch that you need to scratch, I have wonderful news. It wasn't the last NASL. We got season 6 coming up, and let me talk to you a little bit about that really quickly with our champions here. Don't go anywhere, you guys. I'd love to hear shouts after this, but it's too juicy of a transition. We've got not 2 but 3 launch pads. Can you believe it? We're in 2025 and we're expanding. Bestie and Slot might just be the GOATs. So if you're interested in challenging Showtime for the throne, which they now solely occupy, make sure that you grab a team and consider signing up for one of the 3 launch pads. Our first is March 29th, with subsequent launch pads scheduled each following weekend. There's a bit of a format change going on that you might take notice of. A couple more teams are going to make it through certain rounds. A couple different changes in how relegations might work, but you know what I'm going to say at the end of the day. My good friend 2004 Lexus GX 470, play better, win more. Just win your games. The format won't matter, but we've got those coming up with liftoff shortly after on May 3rd, which will shake up our competitive landscape for our 3 leagues from Bestie and Slot. Really quickly, shout out to the Kazan on the umbrella above the nasty logo. Those eagle eye fellas in there saw that with me. So I'd once again like to encourage anyone. I've actually never done this, so it looks cool. Consider playing through the quals. It's my favorite competitive time of the whole year. I love covering it. I love watching new teams form, and I know that there's many free agents wandering about. So try to make some waves. Reach out to someone from solo queue. Don't sit there idly hoping for a team. None of these teams that won today were made by people sitting on their hands. So make sure that you tune in. There's so many more teams than you've ever before seen. It might just be the biggest qualifier ever, I think. And we'll have to wait till the numbers are for sure. So really quickly, just wanted to say that. Remember, March 29th is the first if you're an upcoming player, never even played competitive for, perfect time to get started. So that being said, let's turn it right back over one final time to our victors. And I'd love to start with Xianzu. Of course, it's time for some shout outs. Obviously, I know your team is fantastic. Your teammates are wonderful. If we can save our teammate shout outs to the end for everyone. Xianzu, I'd love to hear if you have some words for any listeners out there.
I think the biggest shout out that I can give to anyone today is our subs. The way that they have been playing in our warm-ups has been absolutely insane. Like, if it wasn't for these guys, I don't think that we actually make it this far in playoffs. Shout out to Color Craze. They're a really good midfielder. Shout out Bug, of course. Shout out to Frightfully Fresh. Shout out to Liari for actually cheering for me and never losing faith. Shout out to the entirety of Bun Bun, actually. I love that team. Shout out to you, Vaughn. You are
Thanks,
my
Xianzu.
inspiration. You are my
Thank
inspiration
you,
to this game.
Pookie. Thank you. Oh,
And of
that
course, shout
warms
out
my
my team.
pulpit. Oh,
I love these
guys. Oh
guys.
my gosh, let's make it about me. Shout out to Sad Boy. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. All right. Thank you, Xianzu. I agree. I think the subs, I mean, Showtime, you can really tell like your backbone of support is truly out and about. I think Bozo and Show have such a wonderful like community surrounding them and their players. So I'm really happy to hear that. And then let's hear from you, Joker. Let's hear those shout outs.
Hey man, I agree with Shion, the sub shout out. Twisty as well for subbing in. Like it's a shame that you couldn't get sub of the split or whatever. I mean, Shape won it, and he's a good player as well. But to me, you're my sub of the season because like without you, we don't get first seed and we don't get in a position like this so we can win playoffs. So shout out to Twisty, Fiery as well for subbing in for us. And you guys are technically NASL champions now as well because you played for a game for us. So congrats as well, you guys. I agree. Shout out Vaughn as well. Vaughn's just like somebody I look up to in the community, of course. And and yeah, like I just retweet what Xianzu just said. Like you were like giving me encouraging words as well. So shout out to you. Shout out to Gramella, especially. That dude is just one of the nicest guys like ever. We can all agree. Everybody in the
Real.
like if Gramella like has like haters, bro, like please find them for me so I can actually I'm not gonna say threats on live, but anyways, yeah, that guy shouldn't have any haters. He's just such a great, awesome dude who just so encouraging and nice dude, man. Shout out to my past teammates too, because like the journey that I had, like playing with you guys just made me the player I am today. Like shout out all the way in beta, like Hook Resets used to be my teammate. If you guys didn't know, shout out to Hook. Shout out to Puffy of FPS, of course. That's like my brother, bro. Like that's my guy right there. Shout out to Leo Leon, because that player like really taught me how to be like a good teammate. Like he's, if you want to know like who's like a textbook good teammate, just look at Leo Leon. Like
True.
that guy just like he taught me how to like be a like proper positive teammate. And shout out to Lily Bun as well. Same reason as Leo Leon. Just like taught me how to be a good teammate and leader as well. Just very nice people. And shout out to my two teammates here, man. Shionzu, that's like my other half, but now, man, like I don't think I could play the game without this guy anymore, honestly. It just feels like irreplaceable of a teammate. So shout out to him, and Barcode as well. Same reason as well. He's like he feels irreplaceable. Nobody holds it down like that guy. And it just honestly means the world to me now that I finally like was able to win with him, because he's been my friend for like so long now. Like it's crazy. So shout out to him as well, and shout out to Bestie and Slot for hosting as always.
True. Shout out Bestie and Slot. Shout out Showtime. And shout out Barcode. I'm sure if he's here. Hey guys, it's me, Sean. Shout out to Mako and Atlas and Asher sometimes. Shout out to Pattern Recognition. Shout out to my two teammates, Sean, Sue, and Joker. Shout out to Melee Goalies, W. There you go. There's our Sean shout out. So
Yeah.
but yeah, truly a wonderful performance out of Showtime. Once again, everyone give them a nice round of applause. Make sure that you check out our upcoming Bestie and Slot, not just events, but merch. Shop.bestieandslot.com for our LAN. That's coming up in just over a month. I got to get my button gear on our Airbnb. And make sure you also check out Launchpad. Remember, March 29th is right around the corner. It's going to creep on you faster than you think, so get a team down. And finally, make sure that you check out Sheb, Sunny Hates Eject Button, a new S tier formed by Cakes. Helped and sponsored and ran like behind the scenes with Bestie and Slot. Collaboration. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Make sure you check that out. That's in 2 weeks, March 1st. And then also don't forget, pick your poison. If you are out there in Twitch chat and you're not necessarily in this NASL sphere yet, I've got great news. The Tier 2, Tier 3 Invitational is starting soon, hosted by yours truly. Make sure you tune in. That's this coming week. So don't forget to stay tuned for that, because I love watching the tier 2 like NASA, NAST players. If you are someone who's up and coming, that's the time to make your mark. New teams are forming. It's going to be an absolute banger. So I'm Vaughn, and on behalf of Asaya, all the other Bestie and Slot admins, as well as the team over here, thank you very much for watching today. It's been a wonderful day 2 of playoffs. We're not going anywhere. NASL 6 is around the corner, so stay tuned and have a good night. Thanks, everyone.